Yes, but my martini's still dry.
Oh, dear me. I'm terribly sorry. The newly facelifted 2020 SsangYong Tivoli. Do you still love it? Are you lukewarm towards it? Do you adore it? Should you care? Why, let's find out, shall we? Tivoli, gaza!
Here we are with anchors tying us to what we'll call home, even if the sight of it has not yet touched our eyes. But here we are and we're together, even if we are apart. And we're together when we're together. Something big is happening among us. It's not as if we don't have to deal with our shortcomings. It's not as if we don't.
So welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Jacket Reviews. Today we are at Orchard Lee Golf Club, which is in Frome in Somerset, and we've been very kindly offered the chance to drive this 2020 SsangYong Tivoli 1.5 Ultimate Petrol Automatic by Tomtom Satnav in Frome. This is a real privilege because I actually own a pre-facelift Tivoli, and this has got a brand new engine, a brand new dashboard in it, and some other changes. So I'm very, very excited to tell you about those. But first of all, thanks Platinum. Before I get into more detail about the newly facelifted 2020 SsangYong Tivoli, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this video and leave a comment below. It really helps us to make these videos quicker and better. So the SsangYong Tivoli was first introduced in 2015, and it's been quite a success for the company. It's introduced them to an entirely new market. Rivals to this car would include things like the Skoda Kamiq, the MG ZS of course, the Volkswagen T-Cross and the Seat Arona. This newly facelifted model comes in different trims from before. Bottom of the range is EX, that starts from about £14,000. Next is ELX, then Ventura, and then top of the range is Ultimate. And I have to say, owning an Ultimate myself, once you've tasted the Ultimate, then there really is no substitute. So I would go for an Ultimate model. This particular car, like this, in Grand White, with an automatic gearbox and a 1.5 litre petrol engine, costs about £21,500. The prices have increased a little bit over the pre-facelift car, but then you do get more equipment now. One of the things you'll notice straight away is the ride and handling of the car has actually been tuned slightly at SsangYong's Technical Centre in Barcelona, and the car does now have a much smoother ride, even on these 18-inch alloy wheels. The handling is still as good as it always was. You do get a little bit of body roll because this is a taller car, but I think they have tuned for this facelift the ride and handling to a very acceptable compromise. This car is very well equipped. We've got things like dual zone climate control, lane keeping assist, lane departure warning. We've got automatic emergency braking. We've got these leather seats which are heated. The steering wheel is one of these buttons festooned over it to activate all the features. Ahead of me is this lovely 10.1 inch virtual cockpit style digital instrument display, and we've got a 9-inch colour display in the centre, which is a little bit easier to operate than the pre-facelift model. Also got the dual zone climate control here, which is a huge bonus, and it feels very comfortable. It's a very nice driving position. 0 to 60 in this car, I imagine with this 165 brake horsepower engine, would be just under 10 seconds. There is also a 1.2 version of this engine that generates 128 brake horsepower. That's only available with a manual gearbox. And then of course there is a 1.6 diesel with 136 horsepower, but as you know, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. One of the things I love about the Tivoli is just the high driving position, which means you can see really well, and the comfort of the new suspension is really good. Also, a major selling point for any SsangYong is that you get a standard 7-year 150,000 mile warranty, which is industry leading, and that might sell you the car alone. It certainly was a big factor when we bought ours. So the plastics on top of the dashboard, they actually do feel a little bit better. There's soft touch on that side, and the sort of peculiar thing at the top of here, which on a pre-facelift car has been replaced by a big speaker grille for the audio system. Obviously I can't actually use that today because of copyright reasons and other things. This car also, just so you can see in the drive-by shots we've got, it's a brand new car, it's not even registered, and I am on private land today. Just so you know, in case you have any comments in that section, then don't leave them in the section below. If you want more detail about the SsangYong Tivoli in general, then I do have a review of my 2019 SsangYong Tivoli 1.5 Ultimate manual. I would actually prefer a manual if it were me, but this auto is very good and smooth anyway. So if you're wondering if I've missed something about the car in general, then that's probably where you'll find it.
Here we are with anchors tying us to what we're.
This new engine makes a really big difference to the performance of the petrol Tivolis. It's also even nicer to drive than it was before. Anyway, let's see if the practicality of the newly facelifted 2020 Tivoli has changed, and take a look in the boot. Shush you. If you come round to the back of the car, we can see that on this Ultimate specification model, the only main differences between this and the pre-facelift are the lights are slightly different, and they've got rid of the chrome rings at the bottom. I don't quite know why. It does lean towards having a cleaner design though, so that's fine. Open up the boot. Standard reversing camera, of course, and all-round parking sensors. We've actually got a movable height boot floor in here, which wasn't in the pre-facelift car that I've got anyway. You can get that as an extra. Just move it out of the way, we can see we've actually got a space saver spare wheel in the boot, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm sure you could actually move these polystyrene trays out of the way as well to give you a bit more boot space. With the boot floor at its down position, which is a bit further down than this is the up position, it's about 400 litres of space, and in here we do have some luggage hooks and a 12-volt socket and the famous Tivoli bungee cords. Climbing into the back of the newly facelifted Tivoli is pretty much the same as before. We've still got the acres of room, which is for the knees. Still got loads and loads of headroom. This is my driving position. I'm 5'11". I've actually had somebody who's 6'8" drive the car today, and he's got room too, which is brilliant. Still got the lovely armrest for cup holders. Has a bit of material inside it to stop it squeaking, unlike an MG6. This is the Ultimate, of course, so we've got the full leather interior in here. One thing I would like to see in here would be a 12-volt socket, but you know, there is one in the front. Actually, there are two in the front, so that's maybe not so much of a problem. And it's very comfortable in here indeed. Got this sort of Artico leather material on the door, piano black finishing, nice big door pocket at the bottom, and the speaker grille there too. Of course, all Tivolis have all-round electric windows. A couple of things I neglected to point out in the previous Tivoli review is you can actually recline these seats slightly further back, but also you have to move the load line out of the way. Another thing is there is a little clip here for the seat belt. If you're folding the seats, just put it there, and then as long as you've got this headrest down, you can see with this movable height boot floor in the up position, you have a nice flat loading floor. The seats do split in this car 60-40, and there are Isofix child seat mountings too. Once again, this cabin is a little bit different from the pre-facelift Tivoli, but it will still be quite familiar. The door panels still have this nice material on them. I think it's faux leather this time. Piano black trim and some sort of, I think, gunmetal grey trim here too, which looks very smart. We'll talk about the secret mission documents in a second, of course. One thing that is different though, if you look in front of you, this is an Ultimate model with the automatic gearbox, and we have digital instruments in this, which is similar to the current generation Corando. If I just turn the car on, it makes a little noise just like the Corando does, and you can have a number of different options for the dials. If we press this button on the steering wheel here, it'll tell me that we've got the lane keep assistance on. We've got lots of driving aids in this car: lane keeping assist, lane departure warning, autonomous emergency braking, all this sort of wonderful stuff. But this is a fully digital instrument cluster, and I believe you can have the Satnav directions in here as well. You can make it look a bit like a Korean nightclub, I think, in here. Or you could have some conventional looking dials, it's up to you, which is very nice. If we move to the centre, this is completely different from the pre-faced Tivoli. There's nothing whatsoever in common with this, apart from possibly that 12-volt socket at the bottom. We've got a 9-inch colour display in the middle with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Also got this particular car dual zone climate control. Again, the panel is completely different from the pre-facelift Tivoli. I think some people didn't like it or something. I think it was fine, but you know, there we go. It does look very smart with these sort of chrome ringed knobs here, and 3-stage heated seats rather than 2-stage. Also, there's a drive mode selector. This is an automatic car. We've got probably sport, comfort, normal, and the USB port here. One thing that has been removed is the aux input. I'm not sure why that's happened, but you know, maybe people don't use aux inputs in cars anymore. One thing that is different about this car from the pre-facelift is that the Tomtom Satnav system is no longer present. That's not really a problem because most people these days would just use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, like I do with my current one. We do, however, have lots of other things that are a bit sort of clearer. These two knobs are nice and clear, and the buttons feel very high quality. I'm very pleased to see physical buttons on the bezel around the screen. These vents are also different, they're in a different position. And the sort of strange thing on top of the dashboard, I never was quite sure what that is. That's also been changed for a speaker for the stereo. And overall, it's a very nice cabin indeed. Most Tivolis now come with a standard reversing camera, and this Ultimate model is no exception. Visibility up front is very good. We've got parking sensors, of course, on this car too, and I'd recommend them. The other controls over here, we've got the lane keeping assist feature here, we've got hill descent control, traction control, heated steering wheel, of course, a button for taking the parking sensors on and off, and also the dashboard lighting here. The steering wheel is slightly different. There's a couple of buttons that have been changed, but it's still the nice design with a little D cut at the bottom there. The leather feels really nice too, and it's a very nice, comfortable driving position. There's plenty of adjustment in the steering wheel, telescopic as well there, and in the seat. Nice to see maybe electric seats on this top of the range model, but you know, don't really need them particularly. And I'm very pleased to say we have a conventional handbrake just there, just the way I like it. Okay, in traditional style, here are my secret mission documents. Let's see if they fit in here. Yes, absolutely no problem at all. But there's one problem if you're going to be a secret agent and you want to drive a facelifted Tivoli. They've got rid of the gun holder. Where am I going to put my Mauser now? I'm going to have to put it in my jacket and I'll get found out. SsangYong must have had the government tell them that they can't put sneaky gun holders in their cars anymore for secret agents. So let's see if the secret mission documents go in the door, which they do. It's exactly the same compartment as before. 2 bottle holders at the front, and that goes in nicely. Overall, this interior is just as good as it was before, and actually improved a bit by this centre stack and the digital instruments in front. Oh, hello viewers. We appear to have had a problem with concluding the 2020 SsangYong Tivoli Ultimate review. It appears that just as we were filming down in Somerset, that conclusion to the review, we were interrupted by some of the opposition. They must have got hold of my secret mission documents, or I left them somewhere on the bed of the pickup truck, because there's nowhere to put it in the glove box. And unlike in this car, there's no mini Mauser for me to pull out of the secret location and defend myself, so I must have been knocked out. I don't know what happened to Graham and Mr. Franks, who was with me, but I'm sure I'll find out at some point. Well, I appear to be in a secret location somewhere in Hampshire, and secret mission documents appear to be still safe. So I suppose I better conclude my opinion of the 2020 SsangYong Tivoli 1.5 Ultimate Automatic. We're sitting in my 2019 Tivoli today by telling you that it is a fantastic car. It is better to drive, it's faster, it might even be more economical, the suspension is better, the infotainment system is better. Regarding the loss of the Tomtom Satnav, I'm not sure that's too big of a problem for most people. It is a little bit more expensive than before, but you still get that industry-leading 7-year, 150,000 mile warranty. Oh, dear me. Excuse me, I'm terribly sorry. Well, that go to Philadelphia was pretty impressive. Thank you for watching this episode of Tweed Jacket Reviews. My name is Joseph Lloyd, and I find cars for people on a professional basis. To find out more, please visit my website or my Facebook page. Links are in the description below. Thank you.